This is a question that we get sometimes. How do I hire? In fact, I recently got an email from somebody that said, well, I know that all the success that you have in business has to do with the fact that you've found good teams because your team is 100% of your business, which I wouldn't say 100%. It is an important part of the business, but I wouldn't say 100%, but it doesn't matter, right? What matters is how do you actually hire a really good team? How do you hire somebody that is going to want to stick around? How do you hire somebody that's got the skills, the talents, and how do you ensure that they're going to be a rock star? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. So, hey guys, if you like what you're hearing here, you want more good content, you want to learn how to scale your trades business, make sure to click the like or subscribe button below. So I want to make this really fast. I want to make this really simple. I want to break down the most important things that you're going to need to hire good, talented people. Number one, if you're going to hire good people, you need to have a business worth working for. You have to create the type of environment that people are actually going to want to work in. So what does that mean? Well, number one, it means that you have a job where you can pay people at or above market rates, right? Because if someone has the option, and I laugh about this all the time, right? If you are going to pay a tradesperson $15 an hour and they go work at Chick-fil-A and make the exact same money, why would they ever work with you? More importantly, if you're going to pay a tradesperson $15 an hour and they can go work at another company and make the same rate, odds are they're going to pick whichever one they like more. Right? You're not going to get along with every person that could potentially come work at your business. So it's important that you're able to pay at minimum competitive rates. But if you're doing well, you want to be able to pay a little bit more than your competitors. Okay. That's number one. Number two, learn how to hire on principles and not just on skills. You know, a lot of people when they hire, they're looking for somebody that can do everything or knows everything. And I consider that to be a failure within the business, right? I'm not always looking for people that can do everything because here at our company, there are certain things that we do a little bit differently. There are processes that we've already developed. The odds that I'm going to find somebody that knows every single process exactly the way that I want to do it is actually pretty slim. However, the odds that I can find somebody that's an absolute rock star, the odds that I can find somebody who is hardworking, who's dedicated, who's willing to show up, who wants to learn, right? Find somebody that is the type of person that I would want to spend time with, who's committed to the same goals and principles and work ethic that I am, but doesn't necessarily have those skills is pretty high. They may not have the, we do cabinet refinishing. Maybe they're not great with a sprayer, right? But they're good with attention to detail and they really want to work and they want to show up. Awesome. I can teach that person. Now, there are going to be variations of this within different businesses, but by and large, I find that if you give somebody to me that has great principles but's lacking in skills, I can teach them the skills. If you give me somebody that's really talented skill-wise, but has crappy character, there's very little I can do with that person. Number three. You need systems that make it so that the people that you're hiring are walking into a well-oiled machine. So here's some examples of this, right? You want systems for their SOPs, what they're expected to do and what that looks like. Like you really want to provide people a very clear path to success. So they know exactly what they're doing. Nothing is more frustrating, and for anyone here that's ever had a job before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's few things that are more frustrating. Very few things more frustrating than going into a job where you keep getting asked to do things that were never described to you originally. When you go into a job, you have the expectation of doing a certain thing, and they keep asking you to do other unrelated stuff. Or you have to do a bunch of extra stuff to be able to do the thing you were supposed to be doing in the first place because the business has horrible, terrible systems around that. You know, one of the things that we like to say, this is one of our favorite phrases, right? You need to make A-grade systems that C players can do well in so that when you attract A players, they'll thrive, right? Because the reality is A players can survive in C systems, but C players will not. But if you find A players, you put them in A systems, like when you get the best working in the best, phenomenal things happen for your business. The last thing is you need to get really clear about creating a culture. Right? And sometimes this comes back to brand because a lot of times your culture should fall around your brand, but what does your company stand for? And do the people that work there know that, right? What are the goals that you have for the company? And are the people that work there, are they bought into those goals? Are they excited about those goals? Are they participating in your journey towards those goals? And if not, why? Right? Is it because they don't know? Is it because they haven't been told? Is it because it hasn't been promoted? Or is it because they're not a cultural fit? Because if they're not a cultural fit, sometimes you got to rip the Band-Aid off and let them go and find something that's going to fit in that culture and is going to be a part of that. Right. And so those are a few quick tips. Again, when people ask, hey, Wilson, I really want to, how you hire good people? It's a complicated answer, right? But those are the four simplest things that you can do to start improving the hiring situation quickly. We'll see you next time.